Welcome back, everybody, to my film Virginity list. Today is a movie that is regarded to some as some of the best movies ever on that list. I'm talking about the 2000 film directed by, who's it directed by? You know it, right?
No.
You know it. Come on. Ridley Scott, starring Russell Crowe. The movie came out in the year 2000, and I have never seen it. This guy, even though he doesn't know the director, he can probably tell you all the lines in this movie. He loves this movie. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about my best friend, Austin.
What's up, everybody? My name's Austin. I'm a big Gladiator fanatic. We're here to get Trace's ideas, our ideas, and our thoughts about this movie. So tell me, Trace, let's hear about your thoughts about this movie.
Okay, so I want to first start off by talking about, I mentioned that Austin loves this movie. He's been trying to get me to watch this movie for seriously 2 years now. And my reasoning behind not watching it within those 2 years is a pretty stupid one, but I already knew how it ended. I knew the story of the movie. I knew everything. So by kind of having it already spoiled for me, there goes my interest in wanting to watch this movie that is 22 years old almost. We're almost 22 years old. So that's my reasoning for not watching it. But at the end of the day, we've been planning this review for a week, and I've kept my thoughts to myself. I think you're going to be happy because I really like this movie.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I think you're going to be happy. The story itself is great. Honestly, spoilers could be thrown out the window at this point because the movie's 21 years old. His family dies. I didn't know that his family died. The only thing I pretty much knew about this movie was that he was a warrior. He's in the pit fighting, but I didn't know why he had to fight. So now I know that he was captured. And Joaquin Phoenix's character, all I knew was that he was an evil emperor. That's it. So I didn't know that Russell Crowe was going to take the throne from him. Even though Joaquin Phoenix was the rightful heir, but the old man. Do you remember the old man's name?
Marcus Aurelius.
Okay, so he died, but he didn't feel Joaquin Phoenix's character should be in charge. So then we have his character being truly despicable, killing the old man, and setting up Russell Crowe's character for demise. So, but all in all, the action was incredible. I was actually blown away by some of the action scenes in this movie. So I'm talking a lot. I'm going to let you take charge on your general thoughts in the movie, why you watch it so many times, and take me back to the first time that you watched the movie.
You know, I haven't seen. First time I probably saw the movie is about 6 years ago with my dad. He's a movie fanatic as well. He only watches a few movies, and Gladiator is actually one of the only movies that he watches. So it's about a 2.5 hour movie, so it's a pretty long movie if you have enough time to watch it. But yeah, the reason why I love this movie so much is because I really like the Roman times. I like the Roman how they used to live. They fought back in the day, what they did for fun. How like their culture. I just loved everything about it. But the fighting was pretty cool to me. So that's why I love watching the movie. A couple of my favorite scenes are just the fact that when he battles the emperor, he's like, okay, it's either be my life or your life. So at the end, the emperor obviously cheats and stabs in the back with a knife, and so he's already going to battle knowing he's gonna probably lose. And towards the end of the movie, Karma hits him right in the face, and Maximus just finishes him. But other than that, one of my other scenes I love is the Battle of Carthage, because they were bound to lose that fight. So there was only about 20 gladiators out there, and probably about another 40 soldiers or so, just going on horses. They're outnumbered, they're outweaponed, and they have absolutely not really much of a chance to stand in that battle.
So I'm really glad you brought up that point, because a couple scenes that stood out to me was one, I hope we're talking about the same part, because there's a couple action scenes. It's when Russell Crowe is telling everyone to take the formations with their shield, and they're flipping over the horse carriages. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that scene stood out to me. And then I really like the scene where, what do they call him? The Spaniard?
The Spaniard.
So up until that point, Joaquin Phoenix's character doesn't know that Maximus is alive. And he takes his boy down there to basically congratulate him and say, you're such a good warrior, take off your mask, I want to see who you are. And just that realization of his character saying, oh crap, I thought you were dead. Like, so that was a really intense scene. And then also him getting stabbed, and he's basically chained up, and he just has to take it. Like, he has no choice. And he goes out there and he gives it his all. At the end of the day, I knew he was going to die. So, but I didn't know if he died killing the Emperor or not. So that was still a surprise to me that he did get to kill the Emperor. Because that was it would have been unsatisfying if the bad guy won at the end.
But still, at the end of the day, Maximus is still dead at the end of the day.
He is, but he gets to be with his family in the afterlife. And his whole plot was revenge on the Emperor, and he got his revenge. But speaking of the afterlife thing, I just want to touch on this very, very briefly. So I told you a couple weeks ago that there was talk of a Gladiator 2 going around. Ridley Scott has a screenplay being written, so it's not 100%, but it could happen if the screenplay gets picked up. What are your thoughts on, do you think they should even make a second one at this point, or anything like that? What do you think?
To be honest, I'm not really sure how I could see a second one coming on. I mean, because obviously Russell Crowe's character is the main character of the show, and he's obviously dead, unless they just went like you said with the afterlife or
yeah.
Maybe he's not actually dead yet, and we'll revive him. Who knows? I mean, but we'll just have to see what they do in the second season.
Say that again. In the second movie.
In the second movie.
Okay. So even though he loves this movie, I really enjoyed this movie. I can't see it personally, me being able to rewatch it as many times as you. You'll sit there and you'll watch this movie 2 or 3 times in a year and be perfectly fine with it. I can only see me watching this once every couple years, to be honest, because the runtime is pretty big, at 2.5 hours. So that's my thought on that. But if I had to pull one bad thing out of this movie, out of all the good things that are in this movie, is even though the action is really, really good, I did notice that, and they were doing this in the early 2000s a lot, so I get it, but they were doing like the shaky cam thing when they were in the battle scenes. So instead of just having the camera straight and you being able to watch what's going on, the camera was kind of moving around a little bit as they were fighting. So that kind of made me a little nauseous at times, but I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
No, I actually haven't.
No? Well, next time you watch it, look out for it when they're in the fights. Is this movie perfect in your eyes, or is there anything that can be taken out, or what?
I mean, I'd say there's some scenes that probably run a little bit longer than they should. I can't name anything off the top of my head, but there's definitely some slow stuff in that in the movie as well that could maybe be taken out. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say about it.
Those are my general thoughts. I want to keep this video relatively short. But if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. This has been my friend Austin. And usually I'm the one that ends out the videos with a movie quote, but he's going to take it away today.
Are you not entertained?
I knew you were going to say that one.
Snauwersnitten. Het erg zo,